Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm gonna be doing the recap of my first semester in college, part two. Now, I remember the last time we stopped at October 7th. So let's continue from there. So after October 6th, it was on October 7th, 2017. I went to work that day till 3. There was this club that I went to at 5 at a friend's house. It was a church club, but my parents didn't really quote unquote approve of me going to church and such. So like they thought I was going to a bowling club. I remember my mom sent this emoji with a hug, was like, "Hi dear, are you in bowling right now?" And I was like, "Yep." And then she said, "Did you have dinner?" And sent an emoji of rice and chopsticks. I was like, it was all good. And then, we were praying, we were in my club, we were doing some really nice things. We had, I don't remember what we had for dinner. Then afterwards, my mom was like, "Hi, dear, how's it going? Dad can pick you up when you are done." It was like 8:05. Then I said, "Oh, we just finished bowling. We're at someone else's house. We're doing karaoke." Um, that night, I don't remember. It was a pretty good night. And then it was done, and I went back home. So that's October 7th. October 8th was a Sunday. I had a business midterm on Tuesday the 11th. Wait, sorry, no, on Tuesday the 10th. Yeah, October 10th. So then I was studying for my business midterm. I really don't recall much. I remember at some point around 4 when my parents were hiking, I went to the dollar store and bought 2 amp energy drinks, one green, one blue. And then I got back. It took about 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. On Monday, I just studied, and that night I played a bit of Wii. Um, on Tuesday, I had my midterm. Apparently, you were supposed to go to a tutorial afterwards, but I just skipped it because I was like, I think I deserve a break after doing the midterm. So I just relaxed. I procrastinated a little bit too much because apparently I had an English report to write on that was due the following day. So around 4, I got home and started working on it. I'm surprised I got it done and relatively well. Well, given the circumstances considered, right? So on Wednesday, I handed that in. Don't remember much afterwards. On Thursday, I was supposed to go to a Bible study thing that was at usually at 10:30 on Thursdays, but I overslept and I woke up at 11:38. It's a good thing too, because on Wednesday it just so happened I started getting a cold and my nose was stuffy. Um, so yeah, and then on yeah, so then I went to bed at 1:38 a.m. that night, but I was obsessed with differential calculus. And then I did it to sleep, and then I woke up at 11:38 the next day, so I completely missed the meeting. I felt bad. Um, then on the 12th, I don't really remember what happened for the rest of the day, other than I'm pretty sure I didn't study while my parents were away at work and such. Well, the 13th, October 13th, I was ready to hand in my math homework, except I realized I forgot it at home. I remember Friday, October 13th was a sunny day. So I went to Surrey for my math class, but before that I had sushi with my dad. That was pretty good. We had some really nice sashimi, really, really nice rolls and such. Yeah. Um, then I had my class. Nothing significant happened until I went home. I went to get Starbucks. I got a white chocolate mocha for $5.20. When I got home, my mom greeted me with open arms, and then she knew I drank coffee because I smelled like coffee. Yeah. 14th and 15th, nothing really happened. The 16th, I don't really remember what happened that day, other than the fact that after, like, usually I go home around 6, like from campus, but then I called my parents to say, well, I won't be home for dinner. I just wanted, because I heard about people studying late at night on campus, so I wanted to try something similar. I wasn't very productive. I didn't really know any good restaurants at the SFU Burnaby campus, so I just got a Starbucks sandwich that night. I know that 16th was an overcast day. The following day, the 17th, we got our midterms back for business. I got a 66. The average was a 68. Then I took some French. I took some French. And because like I didn't finish my online French from like high school, and so I went to Glen Eagle High School to do it. And then I got home at 6. I told my parents that I'll get my grade back in 2 days. So yeah, they didn't question it. The 18th was the first time I ever sought counseling in my life. The day afterwards, October 18th, Wednesday. I wanted someone to talk to, so I told my English teacher that I was feeling kind of depressed and such. Parents have high expectations for me, that sort of thing. And then she directed me to the HCS counseling. I don't know why, but for some reason I never pursued it for the rest of the semester. I think it was because I needed a care card thing or something, and I was under 18. I don't know, for some reason I didn't go through with it. I'm sure it was a good reason. That night, the one of my Bible study leaders called me to have an appointment with me at 9:30 the following day because I missed out last Thursday, where I slept in. And yeah, so then we had that makeup. Then I also had the regular Bible study at 10:30 to 11:30. For lunch, I went to this pho place that is I took commute like back to like a certain station, and it was near Burquitlam. So then I had lunch. For those of you who don't know what pho is, it's a Vietnamese noodle soup style place. Then I revealed to my parents later about my business grade. They weren't so upset about it. I'll reveal why later. Then on October 20th, no, October 19th, I didn't really sleep well. Like I woke up, I slept at 3:22. Then I woke up at 9 the following day. And I woke up at 9 the following day. I headed off to the Surrey campus for my math class. I met up with lunch for my dad. We had pho again. On the 21st, Saturday the 21st, I don't remember anything other than I played Wii that night. On the 22nd, Sunday, October 22nd, my grandma, my mom's mother, moved into our house. My mom took her to eat somewhere. My dad and I went to eat somewhere else because like my mom technically cooks, and when she was gone, my dad doesn't really know how to cook, so yeah. My dad and I ate sushi. I don't know where my mom and grandma went. I don't remember what happened for the rest of the day. On October 23rd, this is when skipping school, I really started to see the negative effects of it. Skipping school is worse than a cocaine addiction. I'm straight up not gonna lie to you. So I missed my English class at 9:30 on Monday, October 23rd. I missed the my math class at Surrey. While I was home, I skipped breakfast and I was like watching a BuzzFeed video on two people, Stephen and Andrew, try really expensive coffee, $914 coffee in Japan. Apparently it was age brewed or something. Then I finally decided to go to school at 2:30. A girl said that I didn't come to class that day, but yeah. Went to my, no, before, and then we got our grades back for that writing report that we did, that I started like the day before it was due. I got a 60% on it, which is fine given the circumstances I was in. That night I went home. My parents didn't suspect a thing because in college, when you skip class, they don't call your parents. Yeah, and so then, like, you know, I was just there. I was home. We watched some Discovery channels and such, and I sounded really energetic. I guess it was to avert suspicion that I skipped class or something, but yeah. On the 24th, nothing significant happened at school, but at home, we watched the Discovery Channel again about nature and such. And I remember sounding really energetic and enthusiastic about stuff that I usually wouldn't be. On the 25th, nothing significant happened on the 25th, other than I remember it was an overcast, cloudy day. And that, oh yeah, my friend Micah texted me asking me to meet up with him at the Surrey campus on Friday after I finished my math class, because he wanted to give me a skateboard that was usually much more expensive, but he would sell it to me for $30. So I agreed to that. On the 26th, is there anything interesting that happened on the 26th? Oh yeah, before the 26th, and on the 26th, I was studying for my computer science assignment that was due. Not. I was studying for my computer science test. It was like a web developing type of course that was due we had a test on Friday. So I studied for that. It was only based on HTML and CSS, which is based on words in the web and how your web is designed, like with colors and such. There was no such thing as JavaScript, which is the behavior of the website, which is good because I didn't really study for that. So then, and then the following day on the 26th, I studied with my friend Michael for that class, and it was pretty productive that day. Yeah, it was also a sunny day on the 26th, and I wore short sleeves that day, I remember, even though it was October. You guys probably don't know this about me, but I'm like generally pretty cold-blooded. From March to October, I can wear short sleeves basically anytime without ever feeling cold. So yeah, and then I headed home pretty happy, yeah. Friday, the 27th is one of the days I most remember. I met my dad, and then my dad wanted me to talk to my mom before I purchased the skateboard from Micah, but I just went along with it because I felt like an adult. I was almost 18, so I technically was an adult. And then, you know, we had lunch at this place. It was like an Indian restaurant. We had samosas, we had curry, we had naan for lunch. It was a sunny day on Friday, October 27th, 2017. Um, then after my math class, I met up with Micah and I purchased the skateboard. It was yellow, it was small. I was ready to ride it because I was watching videos, basic videos on how to skateboard. So I knew how to like, you know, turn, how to stop, how to keep pushing, all that. Then I got back to the Burnaby campus and took my midterm for the computer course. It was pretty good. I didn't really struggle much with it. I found out 2 weeks later that I got 70%, but you know, that's not bad. My computers are one of my weaknesses. So then afterwards, after I took it, I had to go to a party for my church. My parents thought it was bowling again. It was downtown. I can't remember the exact location, but I had to take the 95 bus. Usually I take the 143 bus back to my house. I didn't know the location I was supposed to be in, so I asked my friend Michael, and it turned out to my luck that Michael just lived close around the vicinity of the area where the party was, and he takes the 95 bus too. So then he and I both got on the bus, and then I was finally able to arrive at the destination. So the destination, I met with my group at a sushi place. It's now closed, but I met up at the sushi place. That was the location where the party was initially held. There was a church nearby. Met up with some people. A lot of people were surprised that I was wearing short sleeves. No, people thought I would be cold or frozen to death. Then that night, the sushi server asked me what I wanted. I ordered a spicy salmon tartare with a raw egg on top, and I asked if they had cones, like sushi cones and such. And they were like, "Oh, it's generally a roll, but they could make it into a cone if you wanted to." So I ordered a tuna roll, but in the form of a cone. I had a good time with the people. When I got my bill, it was around $13. I gave a tip, so then I paid $15.12 for dinner that night. What happened afterwards? Afterwards, I went to the church. You know, I asked my friend Rudy about like, you know, if he was like, you know, if he ever like suffered from depression from university and such. And then he said he did. He said he was on academic probation once. He said that I could get through it too. And I felt better. I felt good in God's presence. You know, I felt that I was happy there were friends around me. There was some really good church music going on. I remember one of the songs went like, "Jesus, I surrender." Dun, dun, dun. And then I met with a few of the pastors and such. That night, so someone told me that like they had this guy, they had this teacher who would always wear shorts and like sandals any time of the year in Canada in our place, unless it was snowing. So I was happy to know that I wasn't like an outcast or a weird person in that sense. The rest of the group went to White Spot because like not everybody was at the sushi place that I originally was in. So you know, they went to grab a quick bite. People were getting things like fish and chips, clam chowder, those types of things. I met up with a guy, I think his name was Adrian, but I can't remember anymore. He had a girlfriend named Isabella. And then, you know, like, you know, we were talking, he seemed to like me a lot. Then I said, "Oh, I had a girlfriend too, but it was only in grade 4. And then, you know, we started laughing. His girlfriend smiled and said, "That doesn't count." Can you imagine, like, "Oh, hey, I had a girlfriend in grade 1. You know, we held hands together and walked to the park. We had McDonald's for lunch." Yo, that was the first time I ever dated. I'm just joking. About the grade 1 part, not the grade 4 part. I actually said that. Then I took the SkyTrain back to where I lived with someone named Simon. And then, you know, we were talking about the economy, just about things and life and stuff. And it was pretty good. I met up with my dad. It was 12:15 a.m. at midnight. And then he was like, you know, you should have left your backpack and skateboard at our house before going to this party. I'm like, guess I can always learn, right? Then October 28th came along. I went to work. It was a sunny day. I was in short sleeves. When I got home, my mom asked about my English report. I told her I got a 70. I could generally catch up, and I did end up catching up. So you know, it wasn't that far from 60. So she seemed okay with it. Then you know, I don't remember what happened for the rest of the day. On the 29th, on Sunday, my mom and my grandma went out to eat for lunch again. So my dad and I went to eat at a Grand Four Seasons Chinese restaurant. We had some really good lunch. We had clams with black beans, although it was a bit of a ripoff. There were very few clams. I know some restaurants who do that. Like they give you like abalone in a bowl of water and then one piece of abalone, and then they charge $70 for it. Like, but no, it wasn't as much of a ripoff as that. But we had that. We had some salt and pepper squid. My dad gave me a milk tea as a drink. It was a really nice, really nice lunch. Then, yeah, that's pretty much what I remember for the 29th. I also wore short sleeves, and it was a sunny day that day. On October 30th, for some reason, they skipped my English class. But then I went to all my other classes. Then on the October 31st, it was Halloween. I skipped my business classes and the tutorial. I just wasn't feeling like going. I kind of slacked off. I was playing games and such. I still had game addiction at the time. Then I went home. You know, I started previewing the material for next week's lesson and such. On November the 1st, Wednesday, November the 1st, after I had my English class, I went to see my TA about something, about a short story. I can't remember what short story. And then by the time we were done there, it was 11. I still had 90 minutes to go to my math class at Surrey. It was a sunny day on the 11th, November 1st. I remember I was starting wearing long sleeves because even I can't handle the November weather. Then let's see, it was November 2nd. Nothing significant happened that day that I remember. On November 3rd, on Friday, it was a bit of a cloudy day. My dad and I met at White Spot for sort of a brunch. We had like hash browns, and it was endless hash browns, and we had poached eggs. Oh, the poached eggs were delicious. Ketchup and such. And yeah, it was a good lunch. But because I had a math assignment that wasn't due, I didn't really go to my math class. So I just, so I had to skip that class. Skipping the class to do an assignment that was due for that class. And I did end up finishing it and getting a good grade on it. And then I handed it in. But then I went to try to help some of my other students who were in that class. And then I ran into my teacher. Oh boy, when you run into your teacher the same day you skip his class, that's a shocking feeling. I think he was trying hard not to look at me and such. I don't know. Then on November 4th, my dad and I went to both study at the SFU library. We wanted to see what the atmosphere was like. So we studied there for dinner. We ate pho at the same place I went to eat pho on the 19th. Then we went back to the SFP library to study. We took a break eventually, and I was about to show him a video, a forensics files video, but we were never able to finish it because it was just too late. Then the following day was daylight savings day, and I slept an hour extra because it was daylight savings. That's what I like about daylight savings, when you get an hour back. Nothing really much happened on the 5th. On November the 6th, I had my math exam. I didn't do as good as I thought I would. There was this question like in differential calculus where it was like about, like there was a slope, a derivative at a certain point, and then find the point where it has that particular slope. I guess I got a little cocky and forgot to study, but because like I took calculus 12, so like a lot of the knowledge I didn't really have to study for. So I ended up getting a 72, but I think I'm still kind of higher than the average. The average wasn't that high. So I probably got averaged an A minus according to the bell curve for that midterm. The November 7th, not much happened. November 8th, I kind of skipped that math class because it was my birthday, and I knew that my professor was going to tell everyone how disappointed he was about the results of the midterm. So I just didn't go. I met a guy named Ronald who added me on Facebook because like he was struggling with calculus 1. Apparently he failed that class and he was retaking it. So then, you know, I said I decided to help him a little bit and such, you know. And then Ronald, yeah, and then he's like, he apparently he got an A plus in grade 8 math. So yeah, he told me that. That night, my parents got some salt and pepper squid for me and some hot and sour soup from one of my favorite Chinese restaurants. I didn't have to study for the rest of the night because it was my birthday. On November the 9th, nothing happened other than I told my mom about the math test. She was a little disappointed, but like she knew that it was a hard course, so she forgave me for it. On Friday, November the 10th, on Friday, November the 10th, I went to the Surrey campus and had lunch with my dad. We had Boston pizza this time. We took some pictures. My dad looked really happy in those pictures. So did I. I think we actually got pizza. Well, that's what we go to Boston Pizza, right? For one of our dishes was pizza. I think another was like chicken wings or something. Then like I met up with a girl after my math class, a short girl with glasses, but nice looking. And then she was like, you know, I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask so many questions in class and such, because like our professor teaches the class pretty slowly, and you know, we want to get through the course and such, so maybe ask afterwards. She seemed really nice and cool with it about it though. Yeah, we shook hands. It was a long weekend that day. It's like we didn't have class on Monday. My dad helped me with my computer assignment. This was the point in the computer course, where I was starting to fall behind and get stressed out because like JavaScript is just so freaking hard to understand. So my dad had to help me with assignments basically for the rest of the semester. I just wouldn't get it. Yeah, I was grinding hard on that assignment for the rest of the long Remembrance Day weekend. Then on the 14th, November 14th, after I had my business class, I went to eat at a sushi place that was near the pho place in Burquitlam. for lunch. Then I went home and just kind of relaxed for the rest of the day. I watched movies, I played games. I still studied well when my parents got home. That's what I like about having parents by your side. It's like they give you accountability. I know I sound immature and childish relying on my parents, but sometimes I tend to fall through the seams. And it's nice to have my parents be there for me and pick me up when I need it. On November 15th, Wednesday, November 15th, this was an interesting day. I didn't my parents left for school. No, my parents left for work at 8:20. And I had class at 9:30. I really did not feel like going to school. And I technically could have skipped the entire day of classes, but then I was like, you know what? I'd feel like shit if I didn't show up to any of my classes. So I made a heroic decision, heroic in my brain, and I went to school. Yeah, I did. I showed up to all three of my classes and I left at 9, but it cost me my breakfast though, but it was worth it. I went to my English class. My professor helped me out on an assignment that was due the following Wednesday on the 22nd. I went to Surrey for my math class, but I had a lunch of instant ramen and a BLT sandwich for $4.95, which is pretty good because generally a hefty spender on lunch. Usually I spend around in the double digits and sometimes as high as $30 for lunch. So then, yeah, there was that. Then it was a delicious lunch. And I took my math class, then I took the SkyTrain back. I relaxed a little until my computer class, which ended at 4:20. I went to work. That night, my parents kind of scolded me for eating instant ramens. They were like saying it's not healthy and such. Yeah. On November the 16th, I did a little bit of my English assignment. I didn't want to procrastinate again. On the 17th, there was another assignment due. No, assignment for my computer course. I managed to get a little bit of it done, but not that much. Like generally, I try to, because like I didn't really understand, like I would try to like imitate styles from previous assignments or the solutions from previous assignments, but it never fell in sync. My dad helped me out on the computer assignment on the 18th. The 19th, I don't remember anything. On November 20th, I skipped 3 of my classes. It's a good thing my mom almost caught me because like I left my English book and my math textbook at home, and then she had this suspicious look on her face, but she put them in my backpack. I went to school. And then the reason I skipped 3 of my classes was because I wanted to use that time to catch up on an assignment, my English assignment that was due on Wednesday, because I actually procrastinated on it again. But I didn't really use that time to do my English assignment. It's funny, whenever I say I'm gonna like make time to do an English assignment by skipping class or something, I end up not doing it. I showed up to my computer course though. I met my friend Michael. Then I went home. On the 21st, nothing really happened until that night. I decided to go to sleep, wait until my parents went to bed. Then I decided to do as much as I could on the English assignment that was due the following day. My mom apparently got up at 1 a.m. to use the bathroom, and she saw that my lamp light was still on, so she decided to check and investigate. I guess she could also hear the sound of my my typing, like on the keyboard and such. So she decided to investigate. She told me not to do it too late and such because like I had school the following day. I didn't want to like cause any more suspicion than I already did. And like I didn't want, I didn't want them to like, scold me more for being up at 2. So I decided to go to bed and have an early start the next day. It was due at 9:30. And apparently you're supposed to get a hard copy of it in. So then I decided to do something really, really risky that I've never done before and I probably never will do. I skipped that English class, but luckily for me, I did the assignment and then I like, apparently you were allowed to submit it electronically and such. So I handed it in at 10:19 and I was thinking, okay, that's not too bad from the deadline. I'll go tell the teacher I was sick. I don't really like lying, but I had to in this case. And then like, if she could make it up for me. Then on the 24th, I couldn't have lunch with my dad because he had to do something, so I had lunch on my own. On the 27th, we had this English portfolio that was due. I was pretty on track with my portfolio. I even did some extra things that the TA didn't assign to get bonus points. She said there was apparently this letter that was due that I forgot to do. So I like used the class time to do that letter. And then I finished it and handed it in along with the entire portfolio before the TA tutorial was over. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. I still have 1 month's stuff left to summarize. So I will see you guys next time.